What's up everybody, welcome back to another episode, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 things I use to make my life easier for my weekly scheduled maintenances. These products are not in any particular order. All of them have their very own specific uses, and I absolutely need them all to make my life way easier every single week when I'm maintaining all my tanks. An extra person, extra body would be way easier, but you know. Also, I'm not gonna mention things like pythons or microfiber cloth or a bucket. I figured those are obvious things. At the end of the video, I have a couple more items that I think is pretty important. Hopefully it helps somebody out there. If you guys have other products, tools that you use that makes your life easier, hit me in the comments below. Let me know. I would love to try them out, give them a go. Ooh, that rhymes, that rhymes. So with no further ado, let's get into my top 5. Imagine cleaning all these things, do a little bit of scrubbing, then you kind of have to rinse the pad or rinse the brush. I found this. This is a kitchen cabinet hanging wastebasket. That is a mouthful. Super useful. They come in other shapes and other sizes. I just went with this just because it's perfect for me. I'm able to fit my entire hand in there. And what this does is it has a hook on the end. You just hook it on there. So when you clean the algae out of the tank, use this, kind of rinse it off, go back to work. Now the other application for this is you could use this for your plant trimming. So imagine you're done with all your cleaning and now you're up to the point where you're trimming the plants. You have a whole bunch of stems, dead leaves, whatnot floating on the surface of your tank. You could use this. So trim a couple stems, put it in here, trim a couple stems, put it in here. Pretty useful. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. There's multi-purposes I use this for, mainly for scrubbing the glass when I have dust algae or any type of algae that's like stuck on a flat surface. Plus, this is also good for hard water stains. The other uses I use for this is for my diffuser, it get clogged up with algae. Instead of taking it apart and dipping it in vinegar or a bleach solution, I get lazy and I use this. I take this, I basically just scrub the top of the diffuser until it's not fully clogged, and I do this just so I could last a couple of more weeks before I have to do like a full-on cleansing of the whole entire CO2 system. The other good thing about this is you'll probably find algae on the CO2 line or any type of line that you have in there, and instead of taking them out, I'll just use this, scrub the lines, and they'll be fully clean. This to me is a absolutely must-have. Oh, and shout out to Derek for pointing this out. Also for the Magic Eraser, you don't really have to get the Mr. Clean version. There's a whole bunch of generic versions that's way cheaper, so just buy them in bulk anywhere you can find them. For the toothbrush I use the hard bristles. Basically what happens is, if you use this, it's still hard to get to the edges sometimes. So for the harder reach, nooks and crannies, I use a toothbrush. The other use for a toothbrush is hair algae. For me, I actually have a hair algae problem in this tank right behind me. I've used other things like, for instance, my fingers or a fork, but I find that using a toothbrush or any bristle brush to go in there and kind of like scrub that algae out is super, super easy. All you gotta do is just dip it in and just keep turning, and the algae basically just gets stuck on here and makes your life way easier. I use a Aquarium that's similar to a python, where you attach it to your faucet, turn it on, and it sucks all the water out of the tank. A lot of time you will have to kind of screw it on and unscrew it when you're done. So I went out and got these quick connects. Now this is not the only quick connect that exists in this world. Obviously they have different types and also different types of fittings. It detaches. This part I will always leave on my faucet, and whenever I need to clean, I would take this part. I always leave this connected to my Aquarium, aka Python number 2. Pull this back, stick it on, and click, boom. I'm ready to go. And when I'm done, I just pull this down, pull it out, boom, done. Ready for next week. Turkey Baster. Now, this is not a cooking channel. This is actually a very useful tool, especially if you have a heavily planted tank like that. And what a lot of people do is take this, blow air onto the substrate, and that will kind of drum up all of the detritus, all the fish poop, and all of the debris. With this, obviously they come in different sizes. I wish I got a smaller one. And the other thing is they actually make this with a curved version, an angled version. So I think that's a lot easier if you want to get into like the nooks and crannies. So I'll probably invest my money in that. I think they call these the heavy duty spring clamps. You don't want to hold the hose all day when you're sucking water out or filling the tank with water. So with this, you can easily clamp the hose onto the tank and do other stuff. Obviously, when you're doing other stuff, you want to be mindful that you are sucking water out and putting water back in, and you don't want to flood your floor. The next item is this, mini measuring cups. For these mini measuring cups, they come in multiple sizes. The biggest one go all the way up to like 60 mLs. I use them to measure the chlorinator. The other use for this is I use this to help dose fertilizer into the tank. It goes as low as 1 milliliter. There's obviously other things out there that you could use. For me, these are my go-to tools. Hopefully, this video helps some of you out there. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already, comment below, and please share it with a friend.